Kathmandu, Nepal. Nepal will vote Thursday in a landmark election that will be closely watched by neighboring India and China, each hoping for a win for their domestic allies in the small Himalayan nation. The national election comes as China is expanding its influence across Asia, including by ramping up investments in Nepal, a development that analysts say has rattled India, long the dominant Asian power in the country. Nepal has been liberated from dependency on only one neighbor, Left Alliance leader Kajia Prasad Sharma Oli said to a cheering crowd at a recent campaign rally in the city of Pokhara. The Left Alliance has campaigned on a call to counter India's dominance in Nepal with Chinese power. On the other side, incumbent Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Dubba, who is widely thought to be pro-India, has called for balancing Indian and Chinese power. Why Sherpas from a remote village walked for hours to vote in Nepal's elections. India's influence in Nepal was unrivaled for decades. The countries share an open border, thriving trade links and common religions and customs. But in the past several years, China has redoubled investments in Nepal, building up infrastructure that could increase trade between the two countries, and making plans to expand Nepal's vast untapped hydropower infrastructure, which could yield large returns and displace India's dominance here. Chinese investors have built roads, hospitals, colleges, and malls and are drawing up plans to set up rail links and power transmission lines. At Kathmandu's international airport, incoming travelers are greeted by a large advertisement of a Made in China mall that sells everything from rice cookers to doormats. Opinion: India is on the defensive in its neighborhood. In Pokhara, a tourist hotspot in central Nepal, China is helping build a new airport, a huge development for the small landlocked country of 29 million. Ministerial visits between Kathmandu and Beijing have increased in the past 2 years, and scholarships and exchanges to China have created new opportunities for young Nepalis. China has been flooding Nepal with investment, said Constantino Xavier, an analyst at Carnegie India. That's a big game-changing development. For the first time really, in the history of the country, China is giving Nepal an alternative to India. The option of a second friendly neighborhood giant gives Nepal a bargaining chip to resist India's dominance in the country, a prospect that puts new emphasis on Nepali sovereignty. In election rhetoric, this new focus on sovereignty is expressed in nationalistic, anti-India terms, restoring Nepal to a time before foreign countries dominated internal politics. A new emphasis on political independence is increasingly important to Nepalis, said Kathmandu-based political analyst Akiyut Wagal. The popular definition of nationalism in Nepal is remaining interconnected with India and China but retaining political sovereignty, he said. For some voters, the rhetoric of restoring Nepal to past glory resonates. I think the party I feel like voting for is popular because it strongly claims Nepal as a nation that is capable of bringing those golden days of Nepal back, where Nepal stood economically, socially and politically strong without aid dependency, said Jyoti Singh Bhandari, a lawyer who will cast her ballot Thursday.